Hey, 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 family, what is good? Welcome back to the Hear My Heart show, where we pull back the curtain, we drop the titles, and we get real about life, faith, and every single thing in between. I am your host. I am Coach Tiffany, your internet sister, your purpose pusher, and your cheerleader for when life gets to life, and baby. Now, y'all know this is the space where hearts speak and hope is restored. And every single week, my VIPs bring their real stories, their real struggles, and their real wisdom to remind you, yes, you, that you are seen, loved, and you are never alone. No, never alone, because he promised. Okay, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna pull back. But before we dive into today's conversation, I want to leave something with you, and I'm gonna leave this right here. So I need you to make sure that you put your good ears on. Purpose doesn't always come dressed in ease. Sometimes it shows up in the middle of your battles, disguised as a burden, but hidden in it is blessings waiting to be birthed. All right. So today, I want you to remember something. The ink of your story is powerful. And when God hands you the pen, he expects you to write boldly. Even through your broken pieces, he expects you to write boldly. All right. So you don't need a perfect past to have a purposeful future. And today's VIP is living proof of that truth. Family, I'm honored to introduce to you a woman who doesn't just write words, she imprints hearts. There was purpose in me saying that. She's a published author, she's a poet, and the founder of Written Imprints Publishing and Services. Her journey hasn't been spotless, but it's been sacred. And through every challenge, God's hand has guided her pen. Okay. And she's on a mission to help others bring their stories to life with purpose, peace, and with power. So, with that being said, I want you to welcome my VIP. Okay. That is going to be my sister, Carla Blake, to the Hear My Heart show. What's up, sis?
Hey, everybody.
Don't be giving us that old dry, hey, everybody. That was
What's
boring.
up, everybody?
Okay, I'm gonna quit playing. Would you tell me something? What is something that you are thankful for?
I have to tell you that the biggest thing that comes off my head, on top of my head, is I'm thankful for my life and for my health. I've faced different health challenges over the years, and that's the biggest thing that that has been something that's kind of like been over my life for the past few years, and something I've been trying to overcome. And so, through the grace of God and through God's strength, I've been able to overcome many of those obstacles. So I thank God for it.
Come on for health, life, and strength, huh?
Yeah.
I got you. I'm not. So you said your journey wasn't always pretty. I know that that's something that was like that you have put out there. But it's been a blessing to still be walking in with the narrow road. Can you share a moment where that narrow road felt like um, the hardest to walk, but you knew you had to keep going?
The a moment in my life where I say the road became very narrow and was very difficult for me was in 2021. I lost my father, and it was um, I would still say it was very difficult to overcome, and it was also something that we didn't expect. It kind of happened, last minute, and that's when it's even harder. I'll say is when you don't know
Mm,
details, when you don't know the backstory of something, and so when something kind of pounces on you out of the unexpected, it's hard to overcome, and anything can be hard to overcome. I wouldn't discount anybody's experience or circumstance, but something that comes at you like from the left, like I'm thinking of like a boxer coming with you like at a with an uppercut. That's how I look at that. Somebody blindsiding you from
mhm.
out the way. It's hard to overcome stuff like that. And
Yeah.
so that was by far one of the hardest things I've had to deal with. So
Wow, I know. I believe that that is something super tough. Losing a parent or a parental figure, that is
mhm.
definitely a gut buster. I totally understand
Yeah.
what that. I lost my father, and then I lost my grandmother. Grandmother was like my mommy. So to lose those two, Yeah, that's a real tough one. So I kind of understand where you're coming from in regards to that, and my condolences for that. You've built Written Imprints Publishing, and not just as a business, but as a mission. That's what it seems like. What was
Yeah.
any moment when you knew that this was not just a hobby? This is my God assignment.
Oh, I had to tell you. So when it was about 2022, God came to me in a vision and was explaining a book to me. And it's actually the book here, God Saved My Life, that I just released. Um, and he told me to write a book, and I had to think about it for a minute. And I was like, "Why do you want me to write a book called Dear Me?" And I couldn't understand it. And I kept thinking that it was supposed to be tied to something else, which can be something so crucial is when you misunderstand God's instruction.
Mhm.
And so for years, I thought that the book was supposed to be titled Dear Me, and I didn't even write it until this year.
Okay.
And it was actually supposed to be titled God Saved My Life. But
Mhm.
the whole purpose of the Dear Me was for him to um, uh, lead me to a place where I was writing letters to myself, and
Mhm.
I ended up finding redemption in that. I ended up finding healing in that. And
Mhm.
so that's what the book ended up becoming, was literally letters, poetic letters to myself. And so,
Mhm.
anyways, in 2022 is when he also released to me to start the business Written Imprints. And so,
Uh-huh.
it's been quite a journey. And I waited for a while, and I got hard headed and stuck in my ways, and doubted what God was trying to do. But it wasn't until last December that I ended up starting a business, though.
That's dope. I'm grateful that you decided to
Yeah.
not let fear overtake you, because sometimes that is something that we definitely would do. And we
Yeah.
just get capped by that. And we're like, I am not doing that. Or you want to do it, but then you're just like, I don't know. Many people feel that their story isn't worth telling, or that they're too afraid to write it. What is something that you would say to the person um, who's sitting on their story because of fear, shame, or even feeling not good enough? What's something that you would say to them? Hey, fam, real quick before we dive deeper into this conversation, if you're feeling what you're hearing, go ahead and tap that like button and subscribe. I mean, why keep all this encouragement to yourself? These details matter. So go ahead, bless your
To them.
feed.
I used to, and I still do. I still tell people like to just write it, but there's a lot more to it than just that. And I believe that somebody has to get to a point where they fully find acceptance in who God called them to be. And that's where I had to get. It wasn't just writing the story. I had to get to a place of where I was like, hey, your story matters, but you have to accept who God called you to be, not who the world called you to be. And so I thank God for getting me to that place. And so, anybody that's listening now, anybody that's out there who hasn't written their story, find time to sit with yourself, to sit with yourself and God, and find out who He wants you to be.
Yeah.
What part of your story needs to be shared with the world? And so
Mhm.
that's the biggest thing that I could say to somebody. Just find out who God wants you to be. And then when you come to acceptance and love who that version of yourself is, and then that story will flow out how it's supposed to be.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Now, I know at one point you said too that you believe in writing with intention, and it brings
Yeah.
you peace, love, and joy, right?
Yeah.
How has writing been a healing tool for you personally?
Um, Writing is something I've loved since my early school age years, and since elementary. I've always found like solace and peace in it. I feel like that God gave me that instrument to be able to help not only basically release who I am into the earth, and like help be relatable to those around me. But I feel like that tool is more powerful than what some may seem to understand. And so, because when you're able to tell a story, when you're able to be a story writer, or just not only that, when you're able to put words that are stirred up in your mind and in your heart, and put that onto paper,
Yeah.
that's something that I feel like is very powerful. It's not something that comes easy. And I've had a lot of people come to me and tell me, they're like, I need help with this, and I need help with that, or like, how do you write a book? And I'm like, that's a gift to be able to pull words out from your mind and pull words from your heart and place that on paper. And so it's something I've always enjoyed, and I thank God for that gift.
Yeah. I mean, it's helped me. I know I love journaling and in the process, and I encourage everyone that I always interact with, grab a journal, write it down. Like, you never know, that very well could be a part of your book journey too. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying everybody has to write a book, because everybody is starting to write books nowadays, but
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's not a good thing for you to do, but part of journaling helps to excavate what's going on inside of you. Like, there are certain things that
Yeah.
we'll hold on to and we won't share with anybody, but you can share it with yourself on a piece of paper and write that stuff down. And that's how you start
Mhm.
your healing journey. That is certain things that you are allowing to no longer just be held. And here, our bodies are only so big, and keeping all that toxic stuff that we have going on in us, inside of us, high blood pressure ends up happening,
Yeah.
cholesterol starts going up, headaches start happening, certain things start happening with our body because we choose not to say anything. But I,
Yeah.
by us using that pen and getting this stuff out, that is so powerful. And I'm grateful that you're
Mhm.
encouraging individuals to do such a thing like that. When did you start encouraging people? You said 2021?
Um, well, the business, my business, I had that, the idea and the vision to start it in 2022. I didn't start my business until 2024, in December last year. So
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. No. How many books is it that you got? Four.
I have four. Yes.
Uh-huh. What's the names of those?
So the names of them, the first one is Learning Through Poetry. The Bible. It's a children's book I came up with. So I basically turned Bible stories into poems. And so I felt like it would be easier for a child to be able to follow through and follow along with those stories and learn them if they were in poem form. And so, and then my second book, which I love poetry. And so my second book is called ABC Book of Inspirational Poetry for
Okay.
everyday life and emotions. And
Uh-huh.
then my third one was a collaboration I did with some authors, and I love them to pieces. Some authors in North Carolina,
Uh-huh.
and my publisher at that time, her name is Brandy Rojas, and she's amazing woman, amazing, phenomenal woman.
Uh-huh.
And she has a publishing company, and
Uh-huh.
she published that book for us, and that is called "Little Get Up, Little Girl, Get Up." And so
Oh,
I thank God for those projects, and then including the project of this one, God saved my life. And so
uh-huh.
all of those books are on Amazon. Yeah.
Good stuff. Is there a favorite chapter that you have in this particular book here that you just wrote, God Save My Life?
Um, a favorite, yeah. Let's see. I'll read. If you would like me to, I'll read some of the letter. Okay. This letter here is called Letter of Appreciation.
Okay.
There's a scripture tied with each one, and this one says, "And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do
Mhm.
all in the name of the Lord."
Mhm.
And so this letter starts as this: Dear me, I appreciate you to say the least. I'm
Mhm.
grateful for how you present yourself to the world on a daily basis, despite being willing or unable to proceed due to light afflictions coming at different angles and degrees. I appreciate you. No words are enough. I'm proud of you. I can't express that fully. You're driven and optimistic, and you see light in darkness where light seems non existent. You create and build on everything that's presented to you. No mission is too small in your eyes. May God continue to bless you. With appreciation, me. So that's by far one of my favorites in that book. Yeah.
Oh, that is so powerful. Oh, I absolutely love it. Is it an ebook or is it just only in paperback?
It's in paperback only for right now. I'm working
Okay.
on the ebook for it. So
Okay. Okay. Now I know something also that you shared was that your voice matters, and so that my
mhm.
voice matters, and so does yours. What
Yeah.
legacy do you think? or I should say, what do you think? What legacy do you hope Written Imprints leaves for future writers who come across your work and your journey?
My prayer is that Written Imprints, just like it says in the name, I pray that it leaves an imprint for others to continue to follow their God-given path is my most important thing. I'm praying that people, when they see that logo, when they hear that name, or when they hear my name, that they remember, like, hey, I need to be telling my story. I need to be living my life exactly how God instructed for me to do. And so that's my biggest thing, is that people remember to keep their imprint in the earth, remember to do it in a positive and purposeful way.
That's dope. Oh, that's
Yeah.
absolutely powerful. Since you started your journey, what do you think is one of the biggest lessons that God has taught you about faith and your business during your entrepreneurial journey?
Ooh, entrepreneurship is not for the weak. I'll say, my God, yeah, entrepreneurship is not for the weak. And the biggest thing God is teaching me right now is to follow His lead. I
Ooh.
followed my lead for so long. I followed other people's lead for so long, and God is teaching me now to, like, He's like, I need you to trust me. I need you to follow me. Like, it's just, I think about that old school, that game, where they play follow the leader, and I'm like, I need to be following God, and so that's, I tell you, it's the biggest thing God is working on me right now, is faith, trusting Him and making sure, I'm abiding by everything He told me to do. So,
Uh, is it hard for you to follow, period? Or is it because you would think that because we don't see God, like I know we feel
yeah,
him and I know he exists, and so I'm not taking that away. So I understand that. But sometimes when you don't
yeah.
see something, it's like, how am I supposed to believe in something that I don't see? Is it hard for you to follow, period? Or could it be because you don't see?
I would say that it used to be, and I'm somebody that's big on, like I said, sharing my story and being truthful. I used to be disobedient, hard headed, stubborn, and I still have stubborn ways, except I'm actually, following God though. And so, but I used to be in a point where I was just lost.
Mhm.
I would just get up and go and follow everything that wasn't, and
Mhm.
stuff. I was like very unstable in, my ways. Like I would follow, God, but I was also wanting to have it my way too, as they say, Burger King says, and I can't have it my way, you know. And so yeah, I will say back then, yeah, I had problems with that, but definitely now I'm on a more, stabilized, a more purposeful journey now.
Good stuff. What was something that was used during your journey for you to become that obedient individual? Because I think a lot of us are like that, where we want to be kind of hard headed. That's just nature, period. Like our parents sometimes had to tell us something to do more than one time. Like, hey, go wash
Yeah.
the dishes. All right, I'll get to it. You still ain't washed the dishes. Go wash the
Mm-mm.
dishes. So like it's just in our
Yeah.
nature sometimes just not to follow the lead. Like my parents tell me to do, yeah, I'll get to it when I'm ready to do it. I know you wanted me to, but it's not. What's something that you use to be able to say, all right, I'm gonna follow you. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I get it.
Um, something that has helped keep me grounded is of definitely staying in God's word. I've been intentional about making sure I'm doing that daily. And besides that, I read affirmations. My pastor, Pastor Lenny Gaines, is my pastor. Our church is in Anderson, South Carolina, and it's called Powerhouse Christian Church. And this man of God has definitely helped get me into a point in my life where I'm actually consistent and I'm faithful and I'm stable and continuing to grow. He speaks highly on that, about being faithful and about being someone who is walking in prosperity and continuing to grow. And
Okay.
so staying up under my man of God, and continuing to read God's word, worshiping, and having a consistent prayer life along with speaking my daily affirmations has been what has kind of been my staples, and to
Mhm.
continue to grow in God.
Okay. What is one of your affirmations that you say on a daily basis? If you could share it.
I don't mind at all, because I know there's people listening that may need help as well. And so one of my first affirmations is speaking over my life. I'm speaking no death, only life, and for continual great health over my life. And so that's
Okay.
one of the first things I do speak.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's dope. I absolutely love that because I know
Hmm.
we need to be positive about the things that we speak. Our words are
Hmm.
seeds that we place in the ground,
Oh
and
yeah,
so they're going to eventually manifest. So if I keep saying, you know what, I even try to attempt to make sure I fine tune saying, "Oh, you make me sick," even though I mean it from a positive place. Like,
yeah.
"Oh my God, you said something funny." But I'm like, oh, you made me. Even saying that, I'm speaking something negative. So eventually, sooner or later, our words have power. And eventually, I'm going to end up seeing that. So I try to make sure, even saying that, like you, or even when I hate this term, but it's used often, oh, I'm dead. Like somebody saying,
Ooh,
I don't want to say that because our words are powerful. And I'm not trying to speak premature death on my life. I grasp the concept behind it, but I don't even want to put that out there in the atmosphere. I don't need anything that's dead living in my life. If it's dead, bury it,
yeah.
get rid of it. But if it's supposed to be there,
Mm.
everything that's around me, I need life. And I speak life into. So I love the fact that that is something that you're speaking because, again, our words are
Mhm.
seeds. We're going to see it sooner than later. And it's not just saying, oh, I'm going to see, I'm going to get some money. And that's the only thing. No, if you're talking about sickness, you're talking about death, you talking evil stuff about
Mhm.
yourself, sooner or later, it's going to be seen.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
So I get that. What is something
Mm.
that you would leave with our listeners? So my show is called Hear My Heart. And if you look at the word heart, you see ear is in there. So you
Yeah.
have our ear. Tell us something that's on your heart, the word that you, whether it's just a word or several words you want to put on. What is the last word you would like to leave with our listeners?
Um, Something I feel is important to speak over this atmosphere, over this show is for people to remember to continue to walk purposely. It's so crucial, especially I work in the schools, and I sub right now, but I've worked in different positions in the school system, and these children, it's so important for them to, like we was just talking about, for them to watch what they say, for watch what they do. And so anybody that's listening right now, please just continue to make sure that you're speaking purposely over your life. Not even positive. I can't even say even positive words like this purpose, whatever God's purpose is, make sure that you're speaking that over your life daily. It's so important. And so I'm praying that people continue to be tend or listen to the words of God, and that they continue to move with purpose. And while you're doing so, just remember to leave your imprint in the earth. Leave a purposeful imprint in the earth.
Oh, that is absolutely the sis. I appreciate that.
Hmm.
That is something
Yeah.
super beautiful. And to all my Hear My Heart Nation, I really hope that you take that to heart and be purposeful with any and everything you do. Don't just all right, I'm just speaking positive. That was powerful there. Let's not just be positive.
Yeah.
Let's just be purposeful in everything that we do. So if you don't catch anything else today, catch this. Your story is not a mistake. It's a ministry. That's what I totally believe. And every
Yeah.
detour, every delay, even every doubt, God is still using it to write something beautiful through you. Sis, you remind us that when you put your pen to paper, you're not just writing yourself, you're setting somebody else free. And whoever's been
Hmm.
waiting to read, and their reflection is going to be in your words. So they're going to be able to see their reflection in every word that you put to pen. So whether you're holding
Yeah.
a pen, a mic, or a paintbrush, or even just your prayer in your heart, remember your voice matters and you matter too. Carla, thank you so much for being a vessel and a voice and a visionary. I'm so super grateful for you. Tell us, how do we get the opportunity to connect with you?
So y'all may connect with me through Facebook, Instagram. I have TikTok. I don't use it a lot. But besides that, the main ones are Facebook and Instagram. You can do at authoress Carla Blake or at Carla Blake. And you should be able to find me on all those platforms.
Okay, that's super dope. So, two things I need for you to do, family: connect with Carla And make sure you connect with Written Imprints Publishing, because sis is out here helping people birth their God-given stories into this world. So make sure you connect with her. And two, share this episode with someone who needs the reminder that their story is worthy and it's needed, and it is super powerful. You don't discount your stories, please, y'all. So that's going to be it for today's episode of the Hear My Heart Show. I'm your host, Coach Tiffany. I'm your internet sister who will always remind you to be kind, be intentional, and to always, you see it on the shirt, to be you. So until next time, keep your heart open and your hope alive. I love you, and I'm going to be super churchy right now, and there's nothing you can do about it. Since you want to tell the people bye.
Bye, fam. Love y'all. Thank you.
All right, grace and peace, y'all.